Today, I just wanted to talk about something a little bit different. It's not really game dev related, but it kind of was because it was GameStop related. If you haven't been following the news, it's kind of weird, interesting stuff that's been happening with GameStop and stocks, and Elon Musk is in it now, and billionaires versus billionaires and Reddit and stuff. It's interesting and it's kind of fun to watch and fun to kind of follow along with. So I've been talking to some friends about it and just kind of explaining things, and I just felt like I would just talk to everybody else about it too, and kind of give a brief explanation of my understanding of what's going on there, why it's happening, and what I did. And also, I before I start, I just want to say like I don't know shit about stocks or investing, so don't take this as any kind of investment advice from me. I really have no idea what I'm talking about. Like I learned everything I know in I don't know the last couple weeks from reading Reddit. I mean, the majority of the stuff that I know and understand came from there, so it's not useful, good advice or anything. Just my random observations of the stuff and the stuff that I've seen from other people's videos. So I've been watching a couple other videos on what's going on here, and then just reading along in the subreddit and stuff. So essentially, what's up with GameStop is I was gonna show this nice little view on that screen back up there, but it didn't really pan out because the white background didn't work. But the stock has skyrocketed. Let me switch to a desktop view that I don't have ready and show you exactly what that looks like. So over the last, I don't know, what's it been, a month? The stock's up 1400%. So you can see it was down at like 40 bucks. It was 20 bucks a couple weeks ago. I think it's been as low as like 4 bucks in the last year, and it's skyrocketed up to 300 bucks. And obviously, if you're thinking like that doesn't make any sense, like GameStop hasn't done anything crazy to grow, or there's no reason to think that GameStop's just going to take off magically and explode. That's obviously true. Oh, and also, before we get any further, I also wanted to have a disclaimer that I do have 20 GameStop shares. I bought a couple weeks ago when I started following this stuff, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And because they weren't very expensive back then, so I bought a couple shares to see like what would happen. I read these posts saying that they thought the stock was going to go way up, and I thought that probably isn't going to happen, but I'll grab a couple and just see. So I do have 20 shares in it. That's all. I don't plan on doing anything else with it. I'm not buying any more or anything else like that, in case you were curious. But also, again, not investment advice. I don't know crap about stocks or investing. Anyway, so the stock hasn't really gone up because like the company is having some great comeback or anything. My understanding of what's going on is that, and again, this comes mostly from Reddit, is that there are companies or hedge funds or just big organizations out there who make these bets against stocks. So they bet against companies like GameStop, companies that they think are going to go down in value, things that they think are just going to drop. So they essentially sell. If I'm understanding it right, the short sell. They sell the ability to, or that they will buy the stock at some, or that they will sell the stock at some price. So they have to basically buy the stock later at the price that they have determined it at. So what they're betting on is that the stock price will go down and they have to buy it at the lower price, but they get the higher price value for it. And I know I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but essentially they're betting on it going down. And as long as it goes down, they make a little bit of money and they can sell the bets on that going down to make more money on it, right? But what they've done here in this case is that they've bet on it going down, um, for a stock count that's more than 100% of the stocks that exist. So they've bet that the stocks will drop on like, I don't know the percentage anymore, but I'd read up to like 140% of the stocks. They'd like made these offers to basically buy the stocks at the price or sell them back at this lower price. No, for more than the stocks exist. So then people started holding on to the stocks. People started paying attention to it, and just communicating in Wall Street bets. And I guess I don't know if other places, but I guess they've been doing it for a while. This has been something that isn't like a new thing. I guess it's been going on for like a year. They've been building up, buying a bunch of stocks and just saving them. So they just hold them and hold them and hold them. And as more people kept buying them and holding them, these dates would come in. So when they do these short sells, I guess they have a date where they have to do the where they actually have to do the sell, so they have to buy it back, and like these dates are starting to hit. And then from my understanding, the kind of TLDR part of it, or the big part is on this Friday, they expect like the biggest or a big number of these things are going to hit, and the stock is just going to skyrocket because of that. Now, I don't know if that's true. Like I said, I'm not throwing any more money at it because I'm a coward and not interested in just randomly gambling my money on shit I don't really understand. Um, but it's interesting watching it, and like I said, it threw a little bit of money at it at the beginning to see what would happen, and just kind of watching it go up. And I think it's really curious, but I think there's also another interesting piece to this, though, that it is actually a little bit game dev related. And this came from something that I was reading on the subreddits too. So the thought was that while obviously like the stock going up from GameStop isn't because GameStop's doing anything super amazing and making money. I mean, partially it's because they got a new guy in there who invested and is going to take over and make some big changes. But it's not like it, 1,000% difference. The 1,000% difference is all the short sell thing. But what I've read is that people think that because of this giant stock price increase, GameStop's going to be able to raise a bunch of money, or at least raise the 100 million that they wanted to raise really easily, because they can sell their stock now at a giant price or make new stocks. I guess I don't really again understand how it all works, but they think that perhaps like this will help GameStop get a bunch of money, build up the company, and become a better company that grows faster. And I know GameStop wants to be kind of like an Amazon for video games. I have no idea if that'll work out. I was talking in chat a little bit about my last GameStop order, which was an interesting one. I ordered these Millennium Falcon Millennium Falcon phone chargers, which are really freaking cool, by the way. They were on sale for Black Friday for like 25 bucks. So I ordered two of them because these things are cool. If you haven't seen them, I just go look them up. It looks like a little Falcon. You put the phone on there, and then it like lights up the engines in the back and makes a little glow. I thought those things were really cool. Anyway, I ordered them. Like 3 weeks later, I got a little manila envelope, the little ones that chop open, and I had an Xbox 360 disc of Minecraft in there. So I was like, okay, getting a little worried about GameStop. Um, but I mean, they were still nice enough. They fixed it eventually. Their online support was not great. It was pretty hard to reach anybody online at all. So I just went into the store, and then the store was able to help me get it fixed. Then, of course, when they sent me the new Falcon chargers, they came in a box that also had a hole like punched through it. So this cardboard box with like a 6-inch hole in it. Luckily, there was enough bubble of stuff in there and packaging that nothing fell out. But it was interesting. But hey, if GameStop builds up their online stuff, that's cool with me. I still like to shop there for like random accessories. Like half of the random stuff, maybe not half, but a good chunk of the random stuff you see in the background is from GameStop. Like that little hammer. This is just like a random GameStop buy because I like Overwatch, and I thought like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna put it somewhere in my office and it'll look cool. And then it became part of that dude's head. So yeah, I like GameStop. I don't know. I'm just glad that at least I think that this means that GameStop's not gonna go out of business anytime soon. I was a little bit worried that maybe they would. Sounds like they're gonna get a lot of money, and hopefully they'll do fine and everything will be good good for them, and they'll keep growing and pushing out video games to everybody else. And I don't know if I really got anything else to say about it other than obviously be careful with your money. Don't just like go randomly blowing your money on stuff you don't understand. When I did this, when I threw in my 20 shares there, it was really cheap, and it was like a tiny amount of money that I was more than willing to just lose at a whim, right? And I did the same thing. It's interesting. I don't know if I don't want to like say this like it's a good idea or anything, but the other one that I did was like 2 months ago, or maybe it was about a month and a half ago. I bought some AMC stock, which was like, I literally, I only bought it because I was trying to get into buying some stock. I was trying to get into the habit of getting a little bit of stock. And I was like, all right, I want to get something today. I don't really know what to invest in. And I was still trying to figure it all out. And I was scrolling through the things, and I was like, AMC is only $2. I was like, that seems terrible, but like, could a stock go below $2? And I mean, I don't know anything about stocks. I assume that they can probably go to zero and just plummet down to nothing. I was like, can they go below $2? I'm like, that seems hard. So I just was like, I'll get 100 of those and call it good for the week, right? And yeah, that thing apparently skyrocketed too, just because of the same kind of thing. So I don't know what's going on with the GameStop thing. If it's gonna keep blowing up, I'm hoping it does. Oh wait, I guess wait until Friday and see what happens. But it's definitely an interesting ride, and it's interesting seeing how much of the stock market is really like just rich people gambling with each other and just like us random people on the side watching. And now a bunch of the random people on the side got together in a subreddit and started joining in on the rich people gambling thing. It's weird. It's kind of crazy. It makes me a little bit worried about like the economy as a whole. But at least I'm glad to see that GameStop is probably going to come out of this pretty good, and at least that's my understanding from a random Reddit post. All right, I don't really have anything else to say on this. If you like this though, and you're interested in me randomly talking about other stuff that's loosely game dev related, just hit the thumbs up button or leave a comment afterwards so I know. And I do these little streams and just talk about other random stuff that people might be interested in. If you're interested in just investment type stuff and all that, I did link some of the channels that I like to watch that are kind of investment or money related. I still barely understand what they're talking about, and I watch through their videos all the time to try to like figure out what all this stuff means. There good stuff down there below. So it's like Minority Mindset and Graham Stephen. So great stuff. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I wanted to say thanks everybody for just coming out, watching, and listening to me blab about random stuff I barely know about. I switch over to this view so you guys can see. I grabbed this hammer, pulled it out, and left it in a tiny little window while I showed YouTube analytics. Weird. What a weirdo. All right. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. I'm gonna say goodbye and get back to coding. I gotta code and record some more. So see you later, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.